Okay, this is my ear taping video. I've seen quite a few and I've pulled bits and pieces from each of the ones that I've seen, but I'm just going to do one on the method that I really like to do. So here are all of my supplies. First, you're going to start off with a sharp pair of scissors. I like squares of gauze about this size. My tape, this is Zonus tape. This is the 1 inch, which is what I prefer, but it also comes in 2 inch. I like to get the stinkiest, meatiest treats and save them only for ear taping time. So after a couple of postings, I bring out the supplies and the puppies are excited to get their ears done because they get their special treats. And then there's what I use is the backer rod method. So there's two types that I use. This is I think this is the 5/8 inch or the 3/4, doesn't really matter. This is what I use when they're smaller puppies, and then as they grow I get one of these big honkers and I cut it in half and then I wrap it up just like that. And then this is for removing it in about 5 to 7 days. You're going to take their ears down. In between, when you tape them and when you take it out, you want to keep checking, making sure that there's no smell, there's no goo, there's nothing green or gross. The puppies aren't really bothering at it. For the first couple of tapings, they might bother at it, but it shouldn't be, 3 or 4 days down the line and they're still really bugging at it. That means there's something wrong. So anyways, this is when you take the ears out. This is adhesive remover. It makes it so that it doesn't pull the hair out when you're taking the tapes down, because that hurts and that makes it really not nice for them. So I'm just gonna put this away and do it like we had a baby puppy. Come here. Wrong side. Can you come over here? Come on. Good boy. So what you're gonna do is you're just going to take this. He's not going to like this because he hasn't been taped in quite a few months. You're going to pull that ear up and just measure it. And I like to go a little bit too long because it's easier to take some off the top than it is to add some. So I'm just going to cut it to the size that his ear is. And then you would do two these size, obviously, but we're just going to tape one ear right now. So then what I like to do is I like to cut just the bottom at an angle, and then what we're going to do is that just helps to keep the bottom of the post from bugging too much at the bottom of the ear. And then so I take my square of gauze and I actually cut it in half because we don't need the whole square. So then I take this and I wrap it. I make sure that there's a little bit extra between the bottom of the post and the bottom of the gauze, so that provides a little bit of a cushion in the bottom of their ear. Wrap it around like this, and then what I do is I take my tape and I don't put the tape all the way at the bottom because, again, this gauze is for the inside of their ear. It absorbs some of the moisture, and it stops it from rubbing a little bit too much with the post and the tape. A good thing to do also, which I don't have here with me, is to get some Gold Bond powder and just get it all over this gauze part that goes right on the inside of the ear, and then that can help with the smell and the yeast and moisture. So then I just wrap it. Right now the sticky side is against the post. And then once we get up to the top, then I'm going to flip this roll of tape over, and that now when I go around, the sticky side is out. And then I back wrap the tape all the way down back to the bottom of the post but again, not covering that gauze. And so now my post is ready. And then I'm going to take 3 or 4, I would say that's about a foot long, maybe more, length of tape. And I'm going to get 3 or 4 of those, like I said. And just get them ready. Because you want to get everything ready so that you're not holding your puppy down for any longer than you need to, because as soon as you turn to get a new piece of tape off of the roll, that's when they're going to move, or they're going to run away or do something to mess up all your work. So, good boy. What a good boy. That's for him. That's for him. Okay. So there's 2 ways of doing this. This is the bell of the ear, right here. And so there's a little bump right here that you can rest your post on top of, or some people like to go right down into the ear. Either way, you want to really pull that ear up, stretch it up so that there's not any kind of slack in the ear. Shoo, cat. Because that causes pockets and creases. So again, my cut is on an angle like this. So I'm gonna put, this is the angle that I want it at if I'm gonna put it in this ear on this side. So I'm gonna pull up, and I'm gonna put it right on that little bump, because I find they bug at it less. If you can get away with just putting it on top of that bump, that's ideal. And then I wrap the ear right around, and then I start at the bottom, and this little flap here, you want it to fold back. So I'm going to put, good boy, good boy. I'm going to do a nice firm one at the bottom, so that really holds the base of the ear. And then I'm going to keep wrapping from there. I'm going to go on top of the first bit of tape that I did. And then, hey, go away. Come here. I know, we haven't done this in a while. Come here. Yes, good boy. Okay, and then keep wrapping. I need you to help, sir. And then one last wrap to get that very tip of the ear. And then, so like I said before, I've got a little bit too long. His ears are a little bit short. So what I do is I put my fingers right where his actual ear leather is, and then I'm going to snip that tip off. And then that's an ear. No, you don't want to do it now. We're done. Good boy! So that's the ear done. And that would stay in for, you know, if his ears weren't already done, that would stay in for about 5 days, maybe a whole week, if I felt like it wasn't dirty or wet or anything. And there you go. That's it.